Welcome to this explainer. Look, speaking to you as a professional trader, I'm just going to give it to you straight and share a hard truth that completely changed my entire career. The market isn't causing your pain. Your own mind is. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift your perspective. We're going to look under the hood at the invisible forces driving your trading decisions, and I'll show you exactly how to debug your mental software so you can finally execute with absolute clarity. Here's our roadmap to taking you from a reactive amateur to an objective professional. We'll hit 1. The professional trader's mindset. 2. Debugging your mental software. 3. The closed loop of perception. 4. The boy and the dog. 5. The power of association. And finally, 6. Trading without fear. Let's jump right in. Section 1. The professional trader's mindset. Let's start by diving into a truly profound realization. The source material states it perfectly. Professionals don't perceive anything about the markets as painful. I mean, really think about what that actually means for a second. If there's no perceived threat, well, there's absolutely nothing to defend against. As a result, there's simply no reason for your conscious or subconscious defense mechanisms to kick in. You're completely free to just act on what the market is showing you without all that internal friction.
We've all been on the amateur side of this equation, right? Beginners are literally paralyzed by fear because every single tick against their position feels like a direct personal attack. They're terrified of getting stopped out, so their mental defense systems are just working in overdrive. But compare that to the pro. The professional trader operates in the flow state. Why? Because they perceive market information totally neutrally. They just see an endless stream of opportunities without any of that distortion or hesitation. It's a real game changer.
Moving on to Section 2, debugging your mental software. So, our primary objective here is redefining your relationship with market information. If you want to train like the pros, you absolutely must change your perspective. We need to alter that mental framework that taps you into emotional pain when you're just staring at the DOM or managing an open position, and instead install one that keeps you laser focused on the opportunities right in front of you. But to pull that off, we first have to understand the nature of mental energy. The absolutely crucial point here is understanding this concept of structured energy. Because, our memories and beliefs, they don't take up physical space like atoms, right? The source explains that they actually exist as a form of energy. Every past trade, every euphoric win, every agonizing drawdown, it all literally exists inside your mental environment as structured energy. And here's why this is absolutely crucial to you as a trader. That internal energy acts as an active force. It completely filters and shapes exactly how you perceive the outside world. And yes, that includes your trading screens. Which brings us to Section 3, the closed loop of perception. Let's see how this builds over time. Think back, way back, to the very first time you ever looked at a price chart or a level 2 screen. Step 1, you probably just saw a bunch of confusing, squiggly lines that meant absolutely nothing. It was just noise. But eventually, in Step 2, you learned to make distinctions. You learned about trends, support, resistance, volume, which leads directly to Step 3, where those previously confusing lines now represent an endless stream of actionable opportunities to fulfill your goals. Now, the fascinating core takeaway here is about those chart patterns. The price chart itself never actually changed. Everything you can read on that chart today existed back when you were a total beginner. It was all right there, available to be perceived. But because you didn't have the structured energy, the knowledge and distinctions inside of you yet, those opportunities were literally invisible to you. Your internal mental energy completely dictates what you are capable of seeing in the external market. Crazy, right? All right, Section 4. The boy and the dog. To really grasp this, imagine a young child encountering a dog for the very first time. At point 1, his mental environment is a clean slate. No memories of dogs at all, so he approaches with just pure curiosity and excitement. But at point 2, disaster strikes. The dog happens to be mean and it bites him. This traumatic experience creates a massive amount of painful, negatively charged mental energy. Now look at point 3. Months later, he encounters a completely different, totally friendly dog that just wants to play. What happens? He experiences unprovoked, absolute terror. This perfectly captures the devastating reality of his new mental software. The moment he comes into contact with any other dog, he is going to experience fear. It doesn't make a bit of difference if this new dog is the friendliest golden retriever on the planet. The child's fear is 100% real to him, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with the actual playful nature of the second dog. He is completely trapped in a perceptual closed loop.
Let's tie this back to the markets in Section 5, the power of association.
Notice how these scenarios mirror each other so perfectly? Our minds are just hardwired to involuntarily associate things that feel similar. Just like the traumatized boy sees a friendly dog and his mind instantly links it to his past attack, you see a perfectly valid entry signal and involuntarily link it to your last string of red days. The boy perceives the dog as dangerous, you perceive the market is out to get you. The result is the exact same: paralyzing hesitation and missed opportunity.
What you're experiencing at your trading desk is exactly what psychologists call a projection. Your mind instantaneously and totally unconsciously associates the now moment with past pain. The boy projected his internally generated pain onto the playful dog, firmly convinced the dog was the threat. As a trader, you reflect your negatively charged energy from past losses onto current, totally neutral market data. You're basically convincing yourself the market itself is the source of the danger.
Finally, Section 6, trading without fear. Notice how the exact same market signal produces completely different, totally irrational reactions based entirely on your recent past. In Scenario 1, you just took 3 losses. The market generates a valid signal, but your mind associates it with recent pain. It feels overly risky, so you hesitate and agonize while the trade just takes off without you. But in Scenario 2, you just had 3 huge winners. The market gives you the exact same signal. This time, your mind associates it with winning. The trade feels completely riskless, leading to euphoria, and you end up sizing way up and throwing risk management right out of the window. Both of these reactions are completely detached from objective reality. The professional trader breaks this vicious cycle by internalizing a few core truths. The market does not generate inherently positive or negative information. Upticks, downticks, they're neutral. Each trade is simply an edge with a probable outcome. And most importantly, every single moment in the market is statistically independent of every other moment. Your last trade has absolutely zero bearing on your next one. To succeed consistently, you have to take conscious control of your mind's natural propensity to associate the present moment with past baggage. I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to take to your very next session at the desk. The next time you feel your stomach drop or you hesitate on a perfectly valid entry signal, I want you to pause and ask yourself, is the market actually threatening me right now, or am I just looking at my own internal fear reflecting back at me? Master that distinction and you will finally be trading in the zone. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.